Closed captioning for the Casey Malone Show is sponsored by Hunter Stevens Land Title Agency. Integrity, service, and commitment you can trust.
Oh yeah, Casey Malone is serving up local. It's time for the stories of our region, the tastes, the sights, the sounds, and the people in and around the valley. Get ready for some local flavor on the Casey Malone Show.
Today I forage for wild greens with the Combine Brothers and then prepare them. Leftover ham? Try my Johnny Cake with ham and green onion. But first, Election Day is May 5th, and there are some changes you need to know. Well, I'm here with Melissa Wasco and with Tom McCabe from the Mahoning County Board of Elections. And there is never a dull moment at the board, is there?
Especially around election time.
I mean, there's always something in the news and there's always some different directives. I'd like to switch it up a little bit. Now, you are the Democrat director and you at the Republican.
Correct.
Is that how this whole office works? It's equally Republican workers and Democrat?
That's correct. You know, we have 4 board members that are appointed through the parties, 2 Democrats and 2 Republicans. We have 2 directors, a Democrat, Republican, and then our employees, full-time employees, are half and half as well.
And even the seasonal that come in and they work on absentee ballot applications, we try to have parity there. And then at the polling locations, which we have 63, they're half and half Republican, half Democrat in 63 locations. Roughly 750 people to 850, depending on the size of the election.
How many registered voters are there in Mahoning County?
Roughly 153,000 currently.
And on average, I'm sure the presidential brings out more. What did we have the last presidential?
We had about 73%, a little under 73% turnout.
Pretty high.
Through that 4-year cycle, of course, that's always going to be the highest turnout we have. But we've been as low in some of the elections in the mid-teens as well, and special elections in single digits. So, you know, it's the interest of the voters and what elections they come out for. But primaries are always a low turnout.
Speaking of elections, you know, with our current one coming up, I know we've had some different directives, and it will affect really your absentee and your provisionals. It's a shorter period of time.
So Senate Bill 293 was passed in December and effective for this election. One of the main components that we would want the voters to be aware of is that the absentee ballots you used to have 4 days after Election Day as long as it was postmarked. That's no longer true. It has to be at the Board of Elections by 7:30 on election night, except for the military and overseas.
What is the thought on that? That you're going to have a much more accurate vote on election night?
Well, I think there's a push across the country and in some states, especially Ohio, that we have 30 days of voting. It's easy to vote. We have the absentee voting, which is easy. You can turn your application in months in advance of this election. Then you have the official results that come a week or 2 later. This will make the official and unofficial probably closer to being accurate. The unofficial is the late arriving absentees in the past. It's a provisional ballot. And so you only see 2 results in Ohio, the unofficial and the official. So this is basically shortening that window that a voter has to return that ballot. But we have a drop box. They have 30 days. It's really easy.
And it's 24 hours, right? I mean, it's monitored. So
it's monitored for 24 hours.
And then you could just drop it off even if it's after hours. What about provisionals? How many do you usually get each election? I mean, would it be enough to really sway, you know, the count or anything?
So Senate Bill 293 introduced a new aspect to the provisional voting. There may be some folks who go out on election day and they're going to be flagged as a provisional voter before they even get there. What that means is they potentially had a data mismatch between the Social Security Administration or the BMV with their driver's license, or there was some missed digit with their date of birth. They would have received a notice from the Board of Elections telling them this. If they had not corrected it prior to election, they can go on election day, they can still vote, they may vote provisionally, unless they may bring that information with them.
It was very contentious for the last few years as they were getting the redistricting maps approved. And we finally have approval. And I think people are going to be surprised that they may not be in the congressional district they were, prior. Where's the best place for them to find out what their new state districts are and the congressional?
They should go ahead to our website. They can get all the information they need about their congressional candidates and their state candidates.
So we're here at Oak Hill Renaissance, built in 1902, Southside Hospital. And there's been a lot of talk that you're looking for a new home.
Correct. What I think sometimes gets lost in the sauce in the conversation is we would love to stay in Youngstown. This is our home. We've been here a long time. Our first priority is to find a facility that meets our needs so that we have adequate parking. So for example, at election time, we have early vote,
Right.
we have training, and we have additional staff. And so that's a good 160 parking spots that you need all the time that are coming and going people all day long.
And you're sharing that with all the other offices that are in this
Correct.
building.
And so when you look for a facility, you have to find a place where you're not going to back up traffic on 224, for example. All that commercial realty that we've been looking around, they're close to the road. So now you have all these people coming to vote, you have people coming for training, and you have additional staff, and you have semis coming, well, I guess 24-foot trucks coming in and out to deliver equipment, deliver ballots, pick things up. So while it sounds simple, that's the operation. And so we have to accommodate those items. Like right now, the way it is still folks vote the most at the polling locations. And then the second most at early vote in person, and then the third most by absentee. And I think that trend started. I think absentee was going up and then it started going down by mail. Yeah. But right now, early vote is second. And so it would be really nice to actually increase our early vote numbers. I mean, that's something we don't talk about because it's all about the building and where we're going to be located, but wouldn't it be great to
You could really increase that.
And so keeping that in mind, that when we move, because we are moving, it's just a matter of finding the right space that meets the needs and is accessible. It would be nice to increase those numbers.
Take off with the Casey Malone Show. Woohoo!
This is Senior Solutions, brought to you by the Reese family, the owners of Briarfield Healthcare Centers. This new series will explain care programs available to your family. Right now, we're at Briarfield Place in Boardman. So if I'm here for physical therapy and I would like to move it along, am I able to go a couple times a day?
Well, everyone is different, and it's based upon your insurance company and how much time they have authorized us to give you therapy per day. It depends on your diagnosis, and it depends upon the progress that you are making. The other thing is that we offer home assessments, so that can sometimes show us if you are ready to go home yet, or if we need to ask the insurance company for more time to get you back home safely and quickly.
Briarfield knows you have lots of questions, and they have the answers. With Senior Solutions, you'll have a clear understanding of Briarfield's care programs.
GABA Camp is open year-round for adults with disabilities and their families. GABA Camp is compliant with the ADA for accessibility. A paved wheelchair path provides scenic and recreational opportunities for everyone. We still have much more to offer. GABA Camp is a 501c3 for the betterment of people with intellectual, physical, and developmental disabilities from all walks of life. Donate now. Your help is needed. Giving is living.
Prom is your time to shine. Tula's Bridal offers a large selection of one-of-a-kind gowns. So what's your style? Ball gown? Sparkly sheath? Cat-eye? Low back? Corset? Tula's carries exclusive designers. Discover the dress that's as unforgettable as you are.
Welcome to Kamar Jewelers, a third-generation, family-owned business run by my brother, Rob, and I. We share a passion for beautiful jewelry and strive to help everyone find the perfect piece. From life celebrations to everyday moments, we've been honored to be a part of your story. Our collection ranges from unique natural diamonds to affordable styles, offering something for everyone. Come visit us anytime at Kamar Jewelers, where every piece tells a story.
Get real, get Kamara.
Hi, I'm Robbie Fellman.
And I'm John Stanko from Boardman Subaru, introducing the 2026 Subaru Outback, completely redesigned and winner of the 2026 Top Safety Pick Plus Award.
April is Subaru Loves the Earth Month, where we're giving away trees to plant right here in the Valley, all from the #1 brand in consumer satisfaction and safety.
Come test drive the all-new Subaru Outback today.
Only at Boardman Subaru, just south of Route 224 on South Avenue.
You better come on in my kitchen.
Well, this recipe is going to be a keeper for you. It is Johnny cake with ham and green onion. And Johnny cake is an old Southern dish made with corn muffin mix, and with the ham and the onion, I add a little cayenne. This bakes a really nice 8x8 dish, which is perfect for breakfast. And whenever you have ham, Easter, Christmas, any time of year, there's always leftover and you're never sure what to do with it. So this dish is perfect. And then you top it off with pure maple syrup, Mill Creek maple. It is an elegant dish and it's so easy to make. So let's get cooking. We'll go over the ingredient list for Johnny cake. For this recipe, you'll need 1 8.5 ounce box of corn muffin mix, 3/4 cup buttermilk, 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 1 egg beaten, 1 cup of chopped ham, 4 green onions, white and green parts chopped fine, and pure maple syrup for serving. So I've preheated the oven to 400 degrees, and I prepared an 8x8 baking dish with butter. All right, and now we're just going to assemble the Johnny cake. You're not going to believe how easy this is. 1 box, Jiffy's available everywhere, of their corn muffin mix, and then add your cayenne pepper. Now, if you do not like the heat, you can let this out, but I find that the cornbread mix really is sweet. And with the maple syrup, you just want to counter that a little bit, and just a little bit of cayenne does the trick. So just whisk that together to make sure it's evenly distributed. Add the egg, and I have this egg at room temperature. It helps with the baking. And then the buttermilk. All right, 3/4 cup. The ham. And 4 green onions, chopped fine with the green part included. And then you just mix this together by hand. You don't need the beater. You don't need the immersion blender. And you just mix it all together. Until it's combined. For about 2 or 3 minutes, let this rest, because it'll help with the rise of your Johnny cake. So it's been about 3 minutes. That's all. Just let it rest a little bit. And I mixed it one more time. And now I am just going to pour it into the prepared dish. Okay, and then we'll put this in the oven for about 20 minutes. And it'll be nice and gold around the edges. And if yours isn't, just put it a couple minutes more. You can also use this batter to make pancakes. Heat up the griddle, 1/8 of a cup, 2 minutes each side, and you'll have little Johnny cakes. But I think the presentation in the pan is much nicer. This is amazing. I love it. All the flavors are there. The onion and the ham, a little bit of kick with the cayenne, the sweetness of the cornbread, and of course, pure maple syrup right from Mill Creek Park. And, watch your time on this. Usually this bakes up in 20 minutes, but mine for some reason wasn't setting up as much, so I had to go an extra 7 minutes. You want that golden brown crust going around the pan, but I'm telling you, this is a sure crowd pleaser. Just go to my website, CaseyMaloneShow.com, and look for the recipe. It's called Johnny Cake with ham and with green onion. And you know what really cuts through all these wonderful flavors? I'm having a grapefruit-based mimosa. It is delicious. It just all works so well together. So this is perfect for your next batch of leftover ham. Cheers.
At Window World, family is the heart of our business.
And we're committed to giving you the family treatment too.
From your free estimate to installation and long after, whether replacing windows, entry doors, or the siding you've dreamed of.
We promise to treat your home like it's our own.
It's what we've stood behind for all these years, and for years to come, we'll continue to say,
not only do we stand behind our windows, we stand on them.
I'm Elizabeth Bernard. For more than 30 years, I've provided our Valley with sound legal advice. My associate Jennifer Rigetti and I will be your legal representatives if you're involved in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident. Don't try to handle it yourself. We'll navigate the red tape of dealing with doctors, medical insurance, and all the obstacles that you'll face. Remember, there are no upfront fees on personal injury cases, and hiring a lawyer does not mean you have to go to court.
Call attorney Elizabeth Bernard, local legal experience for more than 30 years.
You won't go home hungry from Carmela's. Come see us for family-inspired Italian favorites. We're open 6 days a week for lunch and dinner. Carmela's Cafe Italian Eatery, just like Grandma used to make, on Western Reserve Road in Boardman.
Locally sourced is good, whether it's ingredients or a bank, and that's why my bank is Farmers National Bank. Since 1887, Farmers has remained rock solid through every economic condition. Having a bank with a history of safety, soundness, and conservative management is a must. It all boils down to this. You need a bank that will help you reach your goals. I do too, and Farmers is mine. Farmers National Bank, rock solid.
It's time for Angels for Animals' gigantic garage sale at the Canfield Fairgrounds Friday, April 17th through Sunday, April 19th. There are so many amazing things to shop this year, starting with the early bird special on Friday from 9 a.m. till noon. Incredible buys, great food, and raffles, with all proceeds benefiting animals in need. Don't miss it, April 17th through the 19th. For more information, to donate items, or to volunteer, scan the QR code or visit angelsforanimals.org.
Ohio has changed the deadline for mail-in ballots.
All absentee ballots are due by 7:30 p.m. on Election Day.
The drop box at the Board of Elections is available 24/7 to accept your ballots.
Every vote counts.
A family tradition for the Combines is finding and harvesting wild wintergrass. It only appears for a very short time in early spring. They pick, wash, and prepare the greens. It's labor intensive, and the Combines have this process down to a science. I was honored for the invite to join them this year. Well, this is Chris, and he contacted me about some wild greens, and he knows that I like to forage. So he is turning me on to this wild green, and this is really the authentic greens that the Italians used back in the old days.
Yes, it is. It was always a thing that our family did, you know, when we were growing up. We would come out and would get our bag and go out and
then only fields that have not been treated with pesticides is where they grow.
That's right. They will not grow in any fertilized fields. Sometimes you'll find them on the edge, obviously, where the fertilizer didn't get, but you can't waste any time looking for a few here and a few there.
Because there's either a ton or none.
That's right. It's going to be all or nothing.
And then you said when you see the daffodils, you know that that's when these come up.
Right, as soon as the daffodils bloom, and there's some blooming right there.
Right.
It's a sign that you should think about going and looking for them. And frost and snow does not affect them, it makes them better. So it isn't like you have to get them picked before the frost burns them up. They don't get burned up. They they're like a superfood. They're like, bring it on. They'll be available for about 5 days, and what is going to happen is they'll start to put off a head. And once the head gets on, like a flowering head, then you're close to the end.
Because it's getting to go to seed. And
right, but after you do this and you drive around fields and you'll know what that flower is, you'll say, oh my God, look how many were in that field, because now they're yellow.
And you can't eat them.
And they're no good anymore. Nope, they get real bitter and they get real stringy.
Well, this is loaded for bear, this field. So we're going in. Gino, get ready. We are foraging some wild greens. So this is what it looks like. It almost looks like
it's really, really
spinachy.
bitter. See, we're just so overloaded here.
Like, look at this one. Is this a good one?
Oh yeah, that's fine.
That's big. I mean, this is like almost like
that has a slightly different leaf to it, but it's the same plant. It must be just a slightly different version of it. So yeah, this one has these leaves and this one has the round leaves. We generally go for the round leaves. You could tell that they all have this same distinctive flower. I mean, leaf.
That's a biggie.
Yeah, that's a biggie.
Okay. All right.
There you go. There you go.
Wow.
That's it. Got it. Look how nice.
Look at how beautiful. Look at that. Here we go.
There we go.
All right. So now we wash. And luckily, Jeff and Chris are friends with St. Bartholomew, so we're able to use their kitchen, which is gorgeous and nice and big and industrial. I mean, how many pounds do you guys think we have of this?
I don't know. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
But you know, that's why it's one of those things. You got to get them when you can get them.
And it freezes well, you said.
It does freeze well, yep. There you go. Look at that. Now watch how green they get.
Oh my gosh.
Go fast.
All right. Are you going to use this?
Yeah, you got to push them down. You could do that.
Oh, thanks.
Push them down. Balance.
I feel like a witch.
Or you think you're about halfway? Is that halfway, Gary?
Yeah.
Probably more than halfway. Okay. All right.
All right.
Next
one. Oh my gosh, this is so much fun.
Wow, what a smell, huh? That's
I can't believe how pretty they are. Yes, you want to do the last, you got to get the rest. I'm going to leave that to you, Gary.
You know, back in the day when my dad and my Uncle Pete would go get them, they were diehard. They'd cut them off way down low, so you'd get bigger stems. These are like the fillets of cornelius right here. They're perfect.
And now you know they're cold enough?
I used to have them at the restaurant.
Now I'll grab a picture of those and eat them. See how they taste.
So I'll put a second one. You can't make a mistake with shock.
Wow, these are ice cold.
Yeah, you want to stop. Yeah, you don't stop them cooking. Otherwise,
they won't have your parts now. I know, that's just like Popeye the Sailor did, huh?
I did some research, and it's actually wintercress, which is a type of the mustard plant. So it's in the early stages, but you know, as time passes, it turns into the mustard plant, the familiar yellow flower.
Right.
And doesn't look anything like it does what you're
So
taught
all
today.
the things that we did not pick today, they are going to go to seed, and will they become mustard then?
So you drive through by that field in a couple weeks, you're going to see yellow, beautiful yellow.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
it is very
and
interesting.
it's high in vitamin C.
Yes.
And there's all these good things.
Back in the day, they would use it to treat scurvy, which they couldn't get limes and lemons and oranges back then, so it was very medicinal to treat scurvy.
So it's really good for you.
It is very good for you. It's also high in vitamin A and potassium.
There you have it. So this is healthy. It's a healthy weed. And I think that's really cool that you did the research. Now you say wintercress because I do think it does have the spice like a watercress.
It does. So before it's cooked, you know it's very bitter.
Mhm.
And after you steam it, just like 2 minutes of boiling, it still has that bitterness, but it really becomes mellow as well.
So in marrying Chris, that is when you got turned on to all this stuff.
Absolutely. I didn't even know what garlic was and how to use it until I married Chris and became part of the Combine family. And I was
Right.
introduced to all kinds of interesting foods.
Now, what are we doing? We're getting this all
We're just
prepped?
We're just browning this garlic. Normally, at the restaurant, our measurements were exact, so we knew how much exact. I don't want to over salt it right now, so we're going to salt it to taste after we're done. Right,
exactly.
But once we get this garlic nice and brown, then we'll take a portion of those greens that are cooked and we'll just add to it and.
Beautiful.
And we're just gonna put it in and fry it around and get it hot, and might have to add a little more salt.
So there's no real measurement. You really eyeball it.
We don't
at this
measure
point.
anything. I rarely use measuring any device. All right, I'm gonna throw a little salt on.
Okay.
You know, we're not afraid of salt. The
No.
combines and salt.
Look at this Gino Bino. So daffodils mean it is time for these.
It's time to start looking for these.
And then what is the other signs? You were giving me all these signs of
Lilacs for crappies.
things. So that means it's time to start fishing crappies.
Yeah, you can actually even say that when the forsythias come out too, that's a good time to start looking for the cornue. Because it's like a ghost. They're going to come and go.
They're called cornues.
We call them cornues.
But we don't know, is like that your dad thing or?
No, I think I think that's what it's called.
Cornues.
Cornues.
So these are actually called cornues.
Cornues and, yeah.
I think
Wintercress would be the common name.
Okay.
All right.
Just like that. Salute. Here's to Casey Malone.
Oh my, no. This is to the combines.
Here you go.
Salute. I've never even heard of this stuff.
Cornues.
Oh my.
That's the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be. Wow, that's right on the money.
Out of this world. Out of this world. We are doing more with you guys. You have all kind of little tricks that I need to learn.
Or vice versa.
Okay. So salute to the combines.
Nice meeting you.
I really
Great
appreciate
meeting
you
you.
inviting
So
me.
fun.
Salute. Thank you. The Casey Malone Show is sponsored in part by Denise and John York and the DeBartolo Corporation.